Hello everyone! In this video, let's explore 5 creative uses for Ableton's Hybrid Reverb. This plugin can produce much more than just classic reverb. But first of all, let's start with a basic overview of this plugin. This plugin is split into 2 sections. On the left-hand side, we have a convolution reverb, and on the right-hand side, we have an algorithmic reverb. Let's start with the convolution reverb. So a convolution reverb works in this way. Imagine hitting a snare drum in a big concert hall, recording this reverberation and then importing them into this plugin, then using those on sounds in your production. Ableton has provided us with numerous of those recordings, such as real places, chambers and large rooms, halls, plates, springs, and so on. You can also import any sound from your sample library into the convolution section of this reverb. So for example, let's take a crash and put it on these chords. Let's try a different example. Let's take this field recordings. And let's import that into the convolution reverb. Next, let's explore the algorithmic side of this reverb. An algorithmic reverb is a digital reverb that uses mathematical algorithm to simulate a sound of a real space. This reverb has 5 different modes. Let's explore the tides mode. You can think about this mode as a type of a spectral delay. Let's leave the decay in size as it is. Let's turn the damping to 0, tides to 100, rate to 16th, wave all the way up, and phase to 0. Let's add a bit of a drum loop in the background. Let's explore another technique with the convolution section of this reverb. We will use the same drum loop, and this time let's increase the feedback to around 95%. Notice that the signal sounds very metallic, not so pleasing to the ear. But what happens when I start to introduce pre-delay? So if you enjoyed this video so far, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Thanks. In the next technique, I want to create a riser out of this reversed snare loop. So start by turning the blend knob to the max, so we're using only the algorithmic section of this reverb. I changed the mode to chords, I increased the decay to 32 seconds. I turned off any EQ settings, I turned off the diffusion and mode to 0, and here I'm modulating the distant knob. This technique is best captured into audio. So then we can reverse the sample to create the riser. There's another really cool technique that we can use with this sample. Let's turn the blend knob to the left, so we're using only the convolution section of this reverb. Let's increase the feedback to 95, and let's increase the pre-delay to around 160. Then I want to automate the pre-delay to around 20 milliseconds. Let's reverse the sample and let's play them together. Two really cool ways to create risers out of the sounds in your project. For the next technique, I want to layer these 2 samples that I just made with a drum loop to create even more tension in this build-up. So here I'm using the algorithmic section of the reverb. I chose the chords mode. The keys remained unchanged. I have automation on the distance. It starts from 50% and goes all the way down to 0. The really cool thing about this technique is the freeze option, which freezing the incoming audio and repeating it infinitely. So I'll play the loop again, and I've turned the freezing function halfway through. Now, let's layer that with the two samples we've made before. So as you can see, you can use the Hybrid Reverb as a creative sound design tool to create much more than just classic reverb. If you have anything to say, leave a comment, consider subscribing to this channel and giving this video a like so it can get to as many people as possible. And if you want to learn about another really cool delay trick, watch this video next. Hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one.